Hey, Yaron, thank you so much for being with me on the Purposeful Mindset podcast. Bro, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to have you on the show. I know we had a little interaction on LinkedIn and then we started talking and we just had a chat before the call. And I'm super excited to actually get to hear your life lessons because I know you're going to freestyle this just like me, not really a structure person, just go from the heart deep. And I know you're going to add a lot of value to all my listeners out there. So I'm looking forward and I want to go straight into it, man. I really want you to share what personally to you the five of the top life lessons that you've been through that you believe has made Yaron the guy he is today, the confident, good looking man that you are today. What made
Oh
you that
yeah.
what made you that guy? I want to know.
So first of all, thank you for having me here, and thank you for your energy. I love your energy. It's like positive. So actually connected to what I just said, the first lesson for me is be yourself. There is this famous quote: "Be yourself because nobody else can." We spoke about like 5 minutes ago about your journey, my journey of hiding ourselves, feeling afraid of who I really am. We are being dictated so much in life to pull out of that from a very young age. Everything, all the systems around us, if it's even parents that love us very much, they block us from being ourselves. Teachers, friends, we're being told how to be, we're being told what's right, what's wrong, and it's really, really easy to lose yourself in all that. I think that in life, it's a well worth journey to look inside. Everything is influencing us to look outside. We are bombarded with information, with commercials, with the way we need to look, with the way we need to think, to the point that, even we're being dictated what a proper holiday should be like. We're being presented these ideal pictures with the beautiful views. And I found myself a lot of times being in these places where everything's supposed to be perfect, but I felt like shit. Mm-hmm. So is this really it? So I think looking outside is wrong to try to discover who I am. And I think looking inside is, to know who you really are and to stand up for who you are. What you think, what you believe in.
Yeah, and I love that. So powerful. I really resonate with you, man, because just like you said, like for me as well, over 6 years ago, coming from someone that was super shy, like couldn't speak to women. I was so scared. I felt like every time something really weird used to happen to me over 6 years ago. When I used to be in school and try to speak to a girl, my eyes would get teary. Like my eyes start watering, not just normal. Like I couldn't even stop myself because I was that shy. I was like, what are they gonna think of me? What are they gonna say to me? Like I don't know what their next response could be. Get out of my face, or stop being so weird or something, and it might just put me off. And I was so shy that just weird things like that used to happen. And now that you said, like, be yourself, now I'm just myself. Like I just don't care what people think about me no more. And that's it's a mind shift that happens. But at the same time, it took more than a year for me in personal development to really find myself. So I want to add to what you said. What if so someone listening right now, what's like one actual like action they can take today to really find themselves? What's one thing that you can tell them, hey guys, go and do this one thing and it's going to really help you to bring out that true version of yourself?
I think that, I have my method, which I coach by, which I call it the crop method. The crop method is the idea is how can we crop our lives to what really matters to us? We have so much noise around. The C from the crop, the first part is cleansing and clearing. And what I mean by that, the first part that we need to do before to understand who I am, I need to detach from all those cords that I'm plugged into that made me think who I am. So there are many elements in this. Big one that I mentioned before is information. We consume so much information. See if you stopped for a second, consume the information that you take on a daily basis. The news, the magazines, the podcasts, if you have to really test yourself, is what I'm taking in here serving me? I used to live in London and I never had a 9-to-5 job, but sometimes I had to go in the morning to the tube, to take the tube. And the first thing that you get in the tube is this magazine, whatever, the Metro, I think you call it, whatever the name of the paper. That's the first thing I used to take in the morning. And I look at it and then the headlines are murder, rape, whatever, corruption. Is this the first thing I want to consume first thing in the morning? So I slowly stopped taking that information, dropped it out of my life and started to listen to podcasts instead in my phone. that's information. Again, there are many ways of information that it's conscious and unconscious around us. The other thing that you can disconnect from is elements of food. If we think about any corner shop that we go to, what we're being sold is salt and sugar packed in very different colorful packages. We are being constantly influenced to consume foods that fuck our brain, you know? And it's much better to disconnect from that and to cleanse of your body. I've done cleanses of 6 weeks and stuff like that, that no sugar of any form. It's not easy because our body is so programmed to that. But again, detach from the toxic food, detach from the toxic information, habits. Look at your habits. You know, we all have habits that we do on a regular basis. How can we let go of those? What's the first thing that you do in the first 15 minutes of every day of yours? Analyze that and look, are you going straight to your phone, to your social media, or are you taking a little bit of breathing time to relax? And another one, which is the hardest one for my clients, is also people and environment. You know, who do you have around you that is holding you back? Who do you have around you that is actually a bad influence? Who do you have around you that makes you behave in ways that you ask yourself, like, why the hell am I behaving like this? So how can you either completely disconnect from people like that, or maybe create a healthy space between you and those, so that you just create the gap from all that noise, again, information, food, people, environment, also how you create your environment. Once you create that space, that gap between yourself and all that noise, you can slowly start to discover who you are. And that's the hour of the crop. This is when you reconnect with your inner voice. You start to understand, like, oh, this is who I am. You no longer think about what your parents told you, your teacher told you, your best friends told you. You are able to bring your inner voice, and then you discover slowly who you are. It's not something that you graduate from. I think it's a constant thing. You know, for me, you spoke about how you felt uncomfortable with women. You know, we met on LinkedIn. LinkedIn was an environment that until very recently, I felt super uncomfortable, and I wasn't myself because I felt like I needed to fit into that place and stuff. And it's only not so long ago that I decided, like, fuck that, man. I'm going to be myself. I understand that this is the environment, but I don't connect with this kind of vibe. So I'll be myself. And I'll be Marmite. Some people will really like what I say and they will really connect. Some people will think that I'm a complete idiot. Fine, that's totally fine. But I'm true to myself. And those who want to connect with me, great. Those who don't, I'm sure that they will find others and it's totally fine.
Love that. Powerful, bro. It's so, like, yeah, just straight to the point. Like, I love it. Like how you've just, even the LinkedIn thing, I agree. Like, I think too many people are just fake on there. They're on there to get you. They're on there to sell something. They're on there to get it. You know, they're just there to grab you and let me connect and let me ask him for the sale. You know, let me connect and send him a link first thing. You know, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you're being so silly. Like, why don't you actually try to make a conversation with that person and ask them, like how I do in my second message, what can I do to be of service? How can I help you? What are you struggling with in your life and your business right now that I can help with? I never said anything about money. I'm willing to go on a 45-minute call with you just to give you my time to help solve something. And after that time, if you feel like Sadiq is really good and, like, you know, he gave me so much value in 45 minutes that I need more of his energy, then let's talk about coaching. Then I'll ask you, are you open to that? If you are, amazing. Let's talk about the packages and what's going to happen from there. If you're not, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it for money. I just changed your life in 45 minutes. I helped you. That's part of my journey. That's part of us giving back. You know, so not everybody's going to want your thing or want to be like you. We have to just be ourselves, and the ones that like you will connect with you and want to be with you. And also, I agree with what you said about disconnecting from the people, the negative people, the noise, the losers, the energy vampires that I call. You know, they just suck all your energy, and, like, you don't need them in your life. You need to cut them out.
Yeah,
So
that's a hard one for a lot of people, but yeah, it's definitely an important one.
I agree, man. I agree. All right. So what's your? So that's, you said 2, right? That was 2 you just shared.
No, that was 1. Be yourself.
Oh, that was 1. Be yourself.
We're going very slow here, my friend.
We're going very slow.
Quicker.
First one, be yourself, and then you shared a little bit about your crop method. That was interesting as well. Okay, so what would you say is, like, moving on to the second one? Like, what's the second life lesson you think has really impacted you?
The second one, I would say, love fully. I think we're afraid to love fully. I think we're holding back from loving because we're afraid to get hurt. And because we're afraid to get hurt, and we don't love fully, we don't really know what a deep, intimate relationship is. And I think it's a shame, because we're missing probably the most important thing that we have in life. I think life is about love. Everything that we see in the world is love. Everything that is beautiful is about love, and everything that is painful is because we are holding back from love. So I'm tired of seeing people holding back and not loving fully. So love fully.
Love fully. You know what that reminded me of? On my website, it says confidence. It says I help people in my coaching with confidence, and underneath that it says accept yourself completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the same thing you're saying, like, you know, love fully. Just accept yourself first, and then just spread that love and give real love. I know what you mean, man. Like, there's so many people that don't have that real genuine love, that real connection, the real meaning of love. They just think love is about relationship and it's a female male thing. But I go and all my friends, I give them a massive hug, the boy ones. You're like, there's nothing wrong with you hugging your best friends or close men to you. Like, it's not a sexual
No.
thing. Love is not a sexual thing. It's actually just a connection between two people.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But,
It doesn't have to be sexual.
Totally, but also in intimate relationship, which is an area that a lot of us are afraid to love fully. We are holding back. And I think even there, as you say, with myself, with my friends, and also with the people that I want to create an intimate relationship, there's so many games and so much stuff going on there. What if we just love fully and with a heart open, willing to get hurt, but showing that love? And
Vulnerability.
I think
You're talking about vulnerability. That's the thing they struggle with the most, everybody.
Yeah.
Be more
so
vulnerable.
That's the second one.
Okay, I love it. Second one is just accept love fully.
Love fully. Yeah, be yourself, love fully, which then moving forward, I think the third one for me will be think big or feel big or whatever. That, like, it's another thing. We're afraid to love fully, and we're also afraid to think about possibilities and to allow ourselves to just play with life on a bigger scale. Coming back to, that not being yourself. Being yourself means playing big. Being yourself means to try crazy shit and allow yourself to be, because that's what as kids we do. But then because we are being blocked from being ourselves, we start to think small. We start to shrink the way we think. And I think
Yaron, but we're gonna fail. This is what they're saying to themselves right now. But we're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we are, and it's fine. It's just part of the game. I don't think that there is all this stuff around failure. It's just part of the journey. I know, when I was 4, I dreamt about being a drummer. That for me was like the biggest dream that you can imagine for yourself, multiplied by 1537. That was how drumming was for me. And I made it a career. Back then, I'm talking about the 90s, my dream was to play with Sting and with Phil Collins. I think these were the people that I was dreaming to play with. And I saw myself touring around the world and performing in front of a lot of people. And it didn't happen. I didn't perform with Sting. I didn't perform with Phil Collins. But I have been touring around the world. I have been doing a career as a drummer. I have been doing, I met amazing artists. It has been amazing. So thinking big means that something can start happening. It might not happen exactly the way we see it, but it can shift. And again, I can relate to the fear, because when I decided, I told you before, that I changed a career from a career that I love to a career that I love. And that transition wasn't easy, because I was already very established as a musician. I had a very successful career, as I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. And then that transition brought a lot of fear. Can I do this? And I saw myself starting to limiting myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been after a lot of, funnily enough, I had to do a lot of work on myself again, to start thinking big and to start not limiting what I think that is possible. And I'm also very grateful to have met a lot of people around my life that have showed me what dreaming big is. The 2 choreographers that I've been working with mainly, one of them is, we spoke about Akram Khan, who did a lot of big projects. We spoke about the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games, like really big scale stuff. Plus, obviously, that was just one-time thing, but all the amazing theater work that he does. And then Chofesh Shechter, who is another choreographer that I've been working with. And with him together, we did some crazy projects. You know, I had a dream once, and I told Chofesh, let's put 200 drummers on stage. And it happened. You know, we did it on the Barbican stage. No, it wasn't 200, it was 149. But we made it happen. And with Chofesh, it was always like these craziest productions, putting on stage things. I had once my drum kit on a 9-meter platform, 48 people on stage, crazy shit. And we made it happen. And working with these kind of people showed me that, you know what, you can think big and you can make it happen. And I don't think that I am unique or special. I think if we just think like this, we can make it happen.
I agree, man. I love that. And you know what I'm super grateful for as well, that I've actually met so many successful people in my life that have also taught me, Sadiq, life is limitless. You know, like they reminded me that you can do anything you want, but you have to work hard and you have to be smart about it. Some people say just hustle, 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 and just work hard. It's all about hard work beats talent, which is true, but also to be smart about it. Not to give everybody your time, you know, getting rid of those negative people, getting rid of and distancing yourself from those negative environments and energies and anything in your life that doesn't serve you, that doesn't really help and upskill your mindset or your energy in itself. So, you know, that's something that I was so honestly just, I feel like sometimes it's luck, but it's just, I just meet these amazing people who taught me, Sadiq, dream big, think big. Like you can, one time when they taught me that, I was like, one of my biggest dreams now is to speak on like a stage that was 90,000 people and just inspire 90,000 people. That's bigger than Tony Robbins has ever done in his life. And I'm like, 90,000 people, like I want to inspire them on somewhere around the world, like Wembley Stadium, they have 90,000 people capacity. Freaking let's do it. One day we're going to have an event there, you know? Like, I think so. It probably would never happen, but I don't know. I'm a dreamer. Like it's easy and it's free to dream. Right? It's free to dream big and think big, but to make it a reality is another story. It's going to be through connections and meeting people. And I don't know, maybe one day I might coach the founder of Wembley Stadium, right? He might be like, Sadiq, please come and have our stage and do whatever you like with it. I'll be like, oh my days, I can make my dream come true now, right? You just don't know what life, the possibilities it has. But I love what you shared about thinking big and dreaming big, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing even now. Like I wouldn't be super confident. I wouldn't have those big dreams, and having still people tell me you're crazy. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Come on, let's be real. Like if Tony Robbins is way bigger than you, he's never done that. So I can be the first person, no?
Totally.
The first crazy person for everything, right?
Totally. 100%. Crazy is good. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so Yaron, you said 3. I think you're on the 4th one. What's the 4th one that you wanna that you really feel like it's in your soul right now? You need to share.
I think it relates to honesty. Be honesty. This is one of my highest values in life.
I love that.
I think there is a great book that I strongly recommend, which is called Radical Honesty. I don't know if you read this one. It's a brilliant book that talks about, and it's something that I have a lot of times clashes with people, because a lot of times I'm being told that you can't be fully honest, you have to hold back, which I get it, you know, in certain situations with people you don't know. It's not like you have to vomit everything that you think immediately. But this is something that I'm implementing very much in my intimate relationship with my wife. Unfortunately for her, you know, our relationship is based on radical honesty. I told her from the beginning, if this relationship needs to work, I need to be able to tell you everything. And it's not easy, because sometimes we tell things to each other that are really, really difficult. But so far, 11 years in, I can see the value of this. I can see the fruits of this. I can see what we have overcome and the level of depth that we keep growing in our relationship. And the same thing for me applies also to the people I work with. You know, I'm at the moment, my business is mostly myself, but I'm working with other freelancers and people. And one of the things that I establish immediately with people is that radical honesty. So, you know, I hired an assistant once, and the whole first session that I had with her was me telling her what I'm really shit at. I told her, here are the things that I'm really crap at, and I'm going to fuck up. And this is exactly where I need help. And it was like a 40 minutes conversation where I just told her, this is what I expect you, the same honesty with me. I need this kind of honesty. I'm working with a marketing strategist right now. Same thing. We had a lot of conversations where we're brutally honest about the whole process. What are the expectations between us? Same thing when I coach with one-to-one, and also in the men's groups that I run. It's quite intense programs, 10 months, where guys enter a really deep process to really change their lives from all angles. And we have, every session starts with 5 minutes of agreements that we read to put everybody in the right mindset. And a lot of it is talking about, you have to be brutally honest here. You have to be willing to completely give and receive honest feedback. So if you see somebody talking and full of shit and bullshitting around, you have to tell the guy, listen, I really don't feel your heart here, man. You're talking, but I don't feel you. And at the same time, if you do something like this, you will have to face when somebody tells you like, man, but I just don't feel you. And a lot of times it's uncomfortable, but I think going through that moment of uncomfortable situation, I have learned tons from it. I've seen the value of going through this radical honesty, and I'm a really, really strong believer in this.
I love that. It's so powerful as well, what you were saying about I'm actually, to be honest with you, the reason why I'm just like really quiet and listening, because that's one of my, if someone said to me, Sadiq, what's your number one biggest value or principle in your life? For me, it's honesty. My name in Arabic actually means the truthful, honest one. And so I honestly, like, just not just because it's my name in Arabic and that's the meaning of it. It's just, I just live by that, man. I honestly believe all my friends love me because I'm just so honest. Sometimes not for the right reasons, but I'm like, you know what? It's not for the right reason, but it's going to always end up well, because I'm going to change it to be like, look, I know I said it too honestly and too straight up, but look, let me make you understand why this person doesn't like you, or this is happening, or that's happening. And they respect you more for your honesty than you trying to lie. You know, they say, if you're always honest with people in life, then you never need to lie.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You understand? Like, if you really like dig deep into that, right? If you're always being honest, then you never need to remember anything. You never need to remember the lie you just did or you made in the past. So just be honest with people, because it's so powerful when you're just there present and you can be yourself and just be like, look, I just want to share and I get what you were saying as well about relationships, right? Whether it's a friendship or intimate relationship or anything, the first thing that I always establish is, I'm going to be super open and honest, is, can I get the same from your side? And I really need to feel it, because if I don't feel it, I'm an empath. I know when people are lying. You don't need to tell me. I already know you're lying, because I can feel energy. I already know it. I'm an empath. I can feel people. I just know. Even this might sound a bit weird, and I've said it before on my podcast before, but I can actually feel people through messages too, like through the psychology and through the human being that I am. Possibly a crazy weirdo, but I believe it's one of my biggest talents. I can connect with people in 2 messages and they love me, and I can also connect with people in 2 messages and I know if they're fake or they're lying, or they're being ridiculous, or they're trying to sell me something. I just know the psychology of sales and behavior and stuff. And so I love that, man. Honestly, that's my favorite one so far.
By the way, your name is it? I never thought about it, but your name, you know, in my language, in Hebrew, Sadiq. Now I understand that it's the same as Tzaddik. We say it like pizza, you know, Tzaddik.
Tzaddik.
I never thought it made a connection. So I learned something today. Cool.
Same. I think my name actually has 2 meanings depending on how you say it. If you say Siddiq, which is not my name is Sadiq, but if you say Siddiq, that also has a truthful, honest meaning to it. And if you say Sadiq like mine, it also means friend. So people in the Arabic language, when they speak, they actually say my name Sadiq all the time, because they say, oh, my friend Sadiq, Sadiq, this, and they always use my name. And so it's kind of interesting. And
it's a great name.
I go with the truthful, honest one, because that's the one I want to be both, like the truthful, honest best friend, you know, like that's the guy I want to be for everyone.
Nice one, man.
So,
nice one.
I love it, bro. Come on, tell us. We're willing to know what your last.
So the last 5 I just chose for today. I chose to be kind.
I love it.
And I think this is probably the one that I feel the weakest link for me, because in a way, because I like intensity and because I like to go straight to the point and all this honesty, I feel that sometimes it can be quite harsh. And I think to remember to observe more the people around us and to be more kind and to understand that people are in different situations and different stages in life, and to just see things from the other perspective more and be more empath. You spoke about that. That's important.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I agree, man. Like being kind and being kind without expecting anything is what we need to do.
Yeah,
People
being
be
patient, also patient, you know, it kind of goes with it as well.
yeah.
Also, because it happened to me, you know, when I underestimated people in the past, which I'm not ashamed of, because, you know, I'm learning as I go. But, you know, there were people in life that I underestimated or I didn't take seriously and stuff. And then I saw, wow, these guys are actually, like a few years later, suddenly like, wow, what an asshole I am for doing what I've done. So I think having that gap of understanding, having that space of patience and kindness, um, and it kind of goes to self as well.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding for myself, because a lot of times being harsh on myself is not really helpful. So to just be kind, be patient is another good lesson.
Mm-hmm. Love that. And you're right, man. Kindness starts with us. To be like one
Yeah.
of my mentors is like he's like the UK kindness ambassador. His name is John. Such an amazing guy, always spreading kindness every day. He's looking for every opportunity to spread kindness. And he goes, one of his favorite quotes is, "Be kind to your mind." Like, because kindness first, he's always kind to himself. You see him every Sunday taking care of himself, going for some massage or something, and he's teaching people, look, every Sunday is my day. I'm kind to my body, I'm kind to my mind, I'm kind to myself. That's why during the whole other 6 days of the week, I'm able to give so much kindness.
Yeah.
Because I've already been kind to myself. I look after myself first. And so he teaches us that lesson. So being kind to our mind and starting from there is what really matters. We're coming up to the end of the show, Yaron. So I want to share with you a question that I normally get a little bit deeper with you on, but you have to answer it in basically one sentence. So you have one
Oh
sentence
man.
to
All
answer
right,
it.
I'm ready. Let's
You're
try.
ready. Okay, so I'm gonna take you into like a journey now. So me and Yaron, we're on that stage I was talking about earlier, about 90,000 people, right? We're there together, and I brought you on. I'm like telling everybody in the stage, these 90,000 people with all these eyeballs waiting to hear from you. I bring you onto the stage. You give this amazing speech about kindness and these 5 life lessons that you shared, and then at the end, I take the microphone and I say, "Hey, Yaron, what's the one sentence you would leave these 90,000 people within this room if you were to leave them one thing that they could have they probably didn't listen to anything you said, but the one thing that you're going to leave them with that's going to stay in their heart for the rest of their life, what would that one sentence be?"
So actually, it's not that hard because I have the sentence, because the sentence that is, I have it for a long time and I really believe in it. My sentence is, lead with your heart and let your head follow, instead of leading with your head and living a life of regret in your heart.
I love that. That is so powerful. Say it one more time. Lead with your heart and let
Lead
your
with your
head
heart
follow.
and let your head follow, instead of leading with your head and living a life of regret in your heart. In the end of the day, when we die, people will not talk about the business that we had and what kind of a car we had and what kind of amazing office we had and the most beautiful bloody holiday that we had. What people will talk about is how we touched their heart, what kind of parents we were, what kind of friends we were, what kind of lovers we were. So I think investing more time in the way we do the hard work and let that lead our lives and let the head follow, because we do need our mind, we do need to think. But I think we are there is overvalue for the mind compared to the heart. And I think we need to kind of change that relationship balance.
Yeah, I agree. I think most people actually right now they overthink too much and they lead they lead with they lead from the head.
Yeah.
Like they literally lead with logic. They
Yeah.
don't lead from like what do they feel? What's the intuition say? What does their heart really say? I think more people need to learn how to get deeper with themselves and start leading from the heart. This is why I love teaching people about servant leadership, because they get so overwhelmed by the normal form of leadership that everybody else, all the other gurus out there are teaching them. They forget about to add the service in the front and be a servant, because it doesn't matter if you're the CEO or the cleaner. You're of service. You have to be service to everyone. You're a human being like everybody else. It doesn't matter what's in the bank account. you still bleed red, same as everyone else in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
So I love that, man. Yaron, honestly, I'm so grateful that you shared some amazing life lessons, super deep, and you ended it with that beautiful saying of yours as well. Which, by the way, I'll create something amazing for you and send it to you after very shortly. Um, but where, if anybody wants to connect with you, they want to know more about your coaching, or they want to connect with you to just have a conversation with you. Maybe they just want they love what you said about something specific in the podcast, and they're just like, hey, I want to go and speak to Yaron. I want to ask him a question. What platforms do you mostly use? Although I would also be like sharing all your links and everything in the description
Yeah.
on YouTube and everywhere else on the platform and podcast. But just from you to the listeners right now, where can they go and find you, and where can you help them from?
The easiest place to go to my website, which is yaronengler.com. It's YARONENGLER.com. You can find me with my name also on LinkedIn and on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, but not very present there yet.
Okay, awesome. So I'll put all the links and everything below, guys. So make sure you all go and connect with Yaron and send him a message, show him some love, a real love, like fully love, not just
Yeah,
like, hey
exactly.
Yaron, not just hey Yaron, good to connect with you. Not that kind of love, like real love, like you heard him from the podcast, or you love what he's doing and like how he's helping men and how he's changing the world and how he's really making an impact. Go and show him some love. And Yaron.
I just want to emphasize it is talking about the service that we spoke about. It is not about me, but seriously, you know, I work mostly with men. So if you are a man that feels stuck, and these things that we spoke about, both Sadiq and myself, and it resonates with you, and you feel that you're stuck and you want to make a change, then reach out, because it's easy and it's the common thing to listen to this stuff and do nothing after.
Yeah.
But if you're being called and you feel that you want to change, reach out and let's have a chat. And as Sadiq said, you know, maybe I'm the right person for you, but if I'm not the right person for you, I will be happy to direct you to the right direction. But if you feel called to make a change in your life, let's have a chat and see what can happen.
Definitely. You heard him, guys. Go reach out if you feel like it, because most of the time, a lot of you that I know don't take action in your life, and you listen to my podcast every week. So if that's the call, he just said the call. So reach out to him if you really feel like you really are stuck and you want some answers. He's the guy for you. So Yaron, thank you so much for being with me on the Purposeful Mindset podcast. Any last things you want to share before I end it?
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I love your energy. Keep going with this energy. The world needs that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. I'm looking forward to stay in touch and do some crazy things together. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your evening, and I will catch you soon.
Thank you.